All right, so let's kick this off with something real because think about it. Every once in a while, you come across an athlete who doesn't just win, they literally change the way you look at the entire sport. Like they force you to rethink what's possible inside that ring. And that's the vibe here. That's why we're talking about this because when you watch her move, when you watch her fight, it's not just boxing anymore. It's an art form mixed with raw violence, speed, precision, power, intelligence, all of it mashed together in a way that makes you sit back and go, holy shit, this is on another level. And you can't turn away. You're glued because deep down, you know you're not just watching another fight. You're watching history unfold in real time. And that's why this conversation matters. That's why you should stick with me from start to finish. Because by the time we're done here, you're going to see this fighter, this whole legacy in a way that's going to hit you different. It's going to make you realize why some people are born to be great and how they carry that greatness like a weapon every time they step into the ring. You watch her fight. And the first thing that smacks you right in the face is just how damn fast she is. But it's not the kind of speed where someone's just flailing around throwing 10 punches a second with no real purpose. It's calculated, it's sharp, it's like every movement is wired directly into her brain and body in this seamless flow. And that's where the precision comes in because she's not wasting shots, she's not shadow boxing in the air. She's hitting the target with this surgical accuracy that makes you go, holy shit. She's painting a masterpiece in there with her fists. And the crazy part is it's not just hand speed, it's footwork speed, head movement speed, reaction time, the whole package working together in this perfectly tuned engine. Like she knows exactly how many milliseconds she has to slide out of range, pop back in, and land something right down the middle before her opponent even blinks. And when you combine that with the way she reads fighters, it's terrifying because you can tell she's processing data in real time, like a computer, adjusting her rhythm, her angles, her punch selection, and every single shot is chosen with intent, whether it's a stiff jab to measure distance, a sneaky right hand to test timing, or a crisp combination that lands flush while the other person is still thinking about their next move. And that's why people underestimate her power sometimes, because she doesn't need to knock your head off with one punch. She'll beat you with precision, landing over and over until your confidence is drained. And that's worse in a way because now you're standing across from someone who is faster than you, sharper than you, and who keeps tagging you no matter how you adjust. And once that realization sets in, it's like drowning in real time because there's no way out. She's in control of the exchanges and you're just surviving. And when you talk about greatness in boxing, that blend of speed and precision is the holy grail because raw speed without accuracy gets you caught. Accuracy without speed gets you smothered. But when you've got both at the highest level, you're basically untouchable. And that's exactly the vibe she gives off, like you're watching someone operate on another level entirely. And it's why her style looks so effortless, but feels so suffocating for anyone unlucky enough to share the ring with her. Man, when you talk about defensive IQ in boxing, you're talking about something way deeper than just putting your hands up and blocking shots. You're talking about anticipation, about reading micro movements in your opponent's body before the punch even comes, and that's what makes her so damn brilliant. Because she's not just reacting, she's predicting, she's 2 or 3 steps ahead of what the other fighter's trying to do. And you can literally see it when she's in the ring, the way her eyes lock in, the way she makes these tiny, almost invisible shifts with her shoulders or her feet. And suddenly the punch just whizzes past her. It's like watching someone dodge bullets in real time. And what's crazy is she doesn't waste energy doing it. She's not flopping around or making big dramatic movements. She's subtle, efficient, like water flowing around a rock. And that's the highest level of defense where you're conserving your gas tank but still making the other person miss by just enough. And when they miss, that's when she punishes them because her defense is never just about avoiding damage. It's about creating counter opportunities. And that's where her fight IQ shines because she knows exactly when to fire back. Exactly when the window is open, and that's why opponents get so frustrated. They'll throw combinations, maybe one lands on the guard, but the rest are slipping past her head or catching air, and then bam, she's right there with a clean shot in return, and mentally that's devastating because you're trying your best to hit her, and not only are you failing, you're getting clipped for even trying. And the thing about her defense is it's layered. It's not just head movement, it's footwork, it's controlling distance with the jab, it's tying up at the right moment, it's rolling under a hook and popping up with her own shot, so she's never in one dimension. And that's why she's so hard to figure out, because there's no pattern to exploit. She adapts in real time, and that's pure IQ. That's years of mastering the craft, drilling the basics until they become instinct, and then layering on that almost predatory sense of timing and awareness that you just can't teach. You either have it or you don't. And watching her work defensively is like watching a chess grandmaster who already knows your next 5 moves. You're playing checkers, and she's already at checkmate. And that's why she's one of the hardest puzzles to solve in the fight game. What blows my mind about adaptability in boxing is how it separates the good from the great. Because a lot of fighters look incredible when the fight is going their way, when they're dictating the pace, when their opponent is playing into their strengths. But adaptability is about what you do when that script gets flipped, when somebody comes in with a completely different rhythm, a completely different style, and suddenly all the stuff you've been drilling for weeks doesn't line up. That's where most fighters crumble. But with her, you can literally see the gears turning mid-fight, like she's running a diagnostic on the person in front of her, taking in the patterns, the timing, the footwork, and she'll adjust almost instantly. Maybe the jab isn't landing, so she starts feinting it just to create reactions. Maybe her opponent's pressure is overwhelming, so she changes the angles, uses lateral movement, forces them to reset. Or maybe she's getting tagged early, and instead of panicking, she tightens the defense, picks her shots more carefully, and then slowly but surely she takes control back. And it's that ability to not be married to one game plan that makes her so damn dangerous, because adaptability means you're never truly out of a fight, no matter how rough the opening rounds are. And you've seen her in situations where people thought, oh, she's in trouble, but by round 4 or 5, she's downloading all that data, making tweaks, and suddenly the fight has a whole different tone. And what's wild is she does it without hesitation. She doesn't second guess. She trusts her instincts because she's got the experience and the confidence that comes from being battle tested. And adaptability isn't just physical, it's mental, because it takes composure to not freak out when you're facing adversity. It takes humility to accept that what you were doing isn't working and you need to switch it up. And a lot of fighters don't have that. Their ego gets in the way. They force the same approach and end up breaking down. But she thrives in that chaos. It almost seems like she likes being pushed into deep water, because that's when you see the creativity come out, the switch from boxing at range to fighting inside, the ability to bait traps, the timing adjustments, and that's why adaptability is such a hallmark of her style, because it's not just about surviving, it's about flipping the script, about turning what was supposed to be your opponent's advantage into your weapon, and that's what champions are built on. What's fascinating about power with control is that most people think power is just about swinging as hard as you can, loading up and trying to knock somebody's head into the 5th row. But real power in boxing, the kind that makes people respect you instantly, comes when it's married to control, because raw power without control is sloppy, it's wild, and it leaves you open. But when someone has the ability to generate that explosive force while keeping their mechanics tight, their balance centered, their shots placed with surgical accuracy, that's when power becomes terrifying. And with her style, you see it in every exchange. She's not just throwing haymakers, she's delivering precise artillery, like a sniper with dynamite on the tip of every bullet. And what makes it so effective is the restraint, the ability to not waste it. She's not spamming power punches every second. She picks the moment, she sets the trap, she makes the opponent feel safe for a split second, and then, boom, that shot comes in clean, and you can see the life drain out of the other fighter's game plan. Because when you feel that kind of power, you start hesitating, your confidence wavers, and now she's controlling the tempo. But the beauty is she never loses composure when delivering it. She's balanced, she's tight, she doesn't get wild after landing, she resets immediately. And that's why she doesn't gas out the way a reckless brawler would. She conserves, she calculates. And when the opening is there, she detonates. And you know that's the difference between a knockout artist and a champion. Because the knockout artist is hunting all the time and often gets burned. But the champion carries power like a loaded gun, holstered until the exact second it's needed. And psychologically, it's brutal because the opponent knows that at any moment, one clean connection could change the fight. So they start fighting cautious, they stop throwing combinations freely, they second guess their pressure, and that's how power with control goes beyond just physical. It's mental warfare, it dictates the rhythm, it forces adjustments, and it's a statement every time she lands, like, I could end this if I want, but I'm not going to waste it. And that aura, that threat lingering over every round, is what separates a fighter who's just strong from a fighter who's truly dangerous. The mental edge in fighting is something people overlook all the time because everybody's focused on who hits harder, who's faster, who's got better conditioning. But the truth is, the mind is the most dangerous weapon inside that ring. And when you watch her fight, you can tell she's not just throwing punches. She's playing a psychological chess match. She knows exactly how to get into her opponent's head, how to project this aura of unshakable confidence. And that's intimidating before the first bell even rings, because if you walk to the ring already doubting yourself against someone who looks like they've been preparing their whole life for this moment, you've already lost half the battle. And in the fight itself, you can see it, the way she doesn't flinch, the way she never breaks eye contact, the way she responds to adversity like it's nothing. That's the kind of thing that eats at an opponent, because most fighters crumble when the game plan goes sideways. But she thrives in those moments. She feeds off chaos. And that's why her mental edge is so powerful. It's like she bends the narrative of the fight to her will. And the crazy part is, it doesn't just come from bravado or trash talk. It comes from the work she's put in, the preparation, the hours in the gym, the discipline to know that no one outworked her. And when you carry that truth into a fight, you're untouchable mentally because you've already convinced yourself you cannot be broken. And when the other fighter senses that, when they feel like nothing they do is rattling her, that's demoralizing. That's when the doubt creeps in. And once doubt takes over, your body doesn't respond the same. Your timing is off. Your decisions are slower. And meanwhile, she's still calm, still calculated, still throwing with confidence. And that's where the gap widens, and people don't understand how much of fighting is about that invisible battle, the pressure, the presence, the way one fighter convinces the other that resistance is useless. And with her, it's like watching a masterclass in psychological warfare. She doesn't just beat you physically. She convinces you that she's inevitable. And that mental edge, man, it's the reason she can walk into any arena against any opponent and still make them feel like they're the ones fighting uphill from the opening bell. So when you put it all together, speed and precision, defensive IQ, adaptability, power with control, and that insane mental edge, you're looking at a fighter who's not just winning matches. She's redefining what's possible in the sport. And that's the thing that blows my mind, because it's rare to see someone who can check every box at that level. Usually you get speed, but no power. Or power, but no defense, or a great game plan, but no ability to adjust when things go wrong. But she's got this complete package, like a blueprint for how the future of boxing is supposed to look. And it's inspiring, not just for fighters, but for anyone chasing greatness. Because it shows that mastery isn't about one skill. It's about putting all of them together, refining every angle until there are no weak points left. And that's why watching her isn't just watching a fight. It's like watching a legacy being built in real time. So whether you love her, doubt her, or root against her, you can't ignore her impact. She's carving her name into the history books with every round she fights. And that's special. That's the kind of stuff that makes this sport beautiful. So to everybody listening, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for sharing this energy. And whatever you're chasing in your own life, go after it with that same fire, that same belief that you cannot be broken. Because if you carry that mentality, man, there's no limit to what you can do. So good luck to all of you out there. Stay sharp, stay hungry, and I'll catch you on the next one.